Okay, everyone, welcome to this new session of the FX3 Tokyo Open Live Room. Welcome, and I hope you had a good day. It's a very active market today. There's going to be a lot to review. I'm opening my my chat here so I can actually see who's online, and thanks for joining in. We're gonna start here, and thanks a lot for joining in. I see Pantelli, Spank, Easy, Luke, Label Lopez, OWSI, Joe, hi Mauricio, Peter, Adinda. I see Desi there, Craig, Lee, and thanks a lot for joining in. And as you know, this is the Tokyo Open Live Room. It's a daily show that features real trading at the very heart of the Asian session. With me, FibStalker, I'll be your guest. Sorry, your host, rather. So very quickly here, hello everyone. I don't see everyone. I see Scott there. I see Mauricio. I see Pantelis, Pankai there. So very briefly here, the disclaimer: trading Forex and its derivatives, including futures, options, CFDs, and other instruments for retail off-exchange transactions, involve substantial risk of loss, and it's not suitable for all investors. You may lose all or more of your initial investment, and the reason is that there is leverage involved. Leverage can work for you as well as against you, as it magnifies gains as well as losses. Past performance is not necessarily indicative for future results. Please also review the FX3 risk disclosure on the website. The information, the trading setups, the commentary, trade ideas, and whether the trade ideas get to target or not provided in this webinar should not be relied upon as a sole resource for your trade. And or as a substitute for extensive independent research, which should be performed before making your own decision. This is only for educational purposes. I, Giuseppe Basile, FibStalker Consulting Inc., and FX3 will not be responsible for any losses incurred if you take your decision. What I suggest is that you paper trade these ideas. So thanks for joining in. Hello, Peter. Assurandra will kick along later today. For sure, let's open the downside, at least for a while, and then we will see both for the euro and the US dollar here, but that could work for both our trades here. So welcome everyone. So let's dive right into our charts. I'm sure that that's what you want to look at. I just want to say hello to everyone here. I don't know if you can see me. Not sure whether you can see me, but let's dive into the chart that are much more interesting than my face here. And let's look and share. You should see them. So hello everyone. Hi Peter. Hi Pantelis. We have few people joining in as well. Jason, welcome. Greg, welcome. Excellent. Hello. So let's look at these markets here. It's quite exciting today, as you see here. I've included also pound versus Japanese yen. We'll talk about that. But before we get into that, let's look at, first of all, the three opportunities that are in play here. This chart may be a little bit busy for you, but I'm going to break it down for you in a moment here. We have the pound versus the Japanese yen at the top row, the euro Australian dollar, which is our swing trade. We are still following, and has not found its first target yet, but we believe it's very, very close. Now, whether the news on the Australian dollars are going to push this price higher or lower, we really don't know. But obviously, our anticipation, we cannot have any expectations about the market, but our anticipation is going to be for a continuation lower into that first target. Now, before I get there, let me show you very briefly, before I get into the news, into the charts, the news that we have here coming up, and should be able to show that to you, everybody. Hello, everybody. That's me. That's not what I wanted to show you. I want to show you the news here. So we had GBP manufacturing today, US dollar, euro dollar. We have the Australian dollar cash rate into the second day in Asia. That's going to be 10:30 p.m. EST. So we won't be able to cover that during this hour, but this is something that I want you to keep in mind here. As you can see, every time what I do at the beginning of the week, I write all the high profile, high important news here, and then I actually exclude for each of the sessions that I follow. You might not believe it, but I try to follow all this session, and I do this with you here. Hello, excellent. Pantelis, Todd, welcome. We just started here, just reviewing the news for week 5 of January the 31st, started yesterday. And so this Australian dollar news on the cash rate RBA could actually be a kicker. And I would ask to the attendants participants who actually come from that area. I know for sure Peter, if you have any, if you have delved into this, and if there are any anticipation for what should be the rate and any scenarios, please share with us. Absolutely busy week, Todd. Hello, Luke. So Peter and everyone who's actually from Australia, if you want to share your thoughts about what we should anticipate for this news. As you know, I always look at the charts. That's what I do. I look at the charts, and my idea and prevalent conviction and belief is that basically the algorithms will always be placed in the direction of the news. So we will see if this is true this week as well. We know that last week we proven that with our euro Australian dollar position. I'm still in that position. I've not had the opportunity to unload on lows on Friday, so I'll try to bring that into 152.35, which is my target. Okay, so enough with this, and let's dive into the chart. So I'll let you drive as well, and if you have any markets you want to review, you'll just let me know, and I will see how I can help you in navigating these markets as well. Otherwise, I will do, I will otherwise follow a review here. Hello, Marco. Hello, Pedro. Thanks for joining in. And let me see if I can see the list here. So we have a few. Traders online. Please have a look at the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. I will. Before I do that, though, let me comment. Okay, let's review that first, because if there are any opportunities there, I don't want you to be. Okay, so let's look at this market. What this market is trading is this market is trading laterally, and I consider it a total mess. What you see here is the 4-hour time frame, what has traded today, and actually has been tested in the last 3 days, but today obviously it took it took a move here, and this level is a level of resistance, 109.22. It's not a level that I would trust as other level that I trace, and the reason is this market is moving laterally here and has broken this level before, so it's not something I would necessarily trust. However, today gave an entry here, and clearly there was participation around this 109 in the area starting from 109.34, and price got into the second target here already. So it's been very, very quick, 8 hours of move lower, and currently it is still trading lows here. This might be a break, but doesn't mean that this market cannot continue lower. So I project a continuation lower at 108.26, 108.30. I don't like particularly this market, but you know, it's there, and it's offering an opportunity. If you traded it, well done there. The second target has been hit. I find much more interesting the Australian dollar US dollar for reasons that I'm going to show to you. So let's hope that the news are going to move this market in the right direction. It should be, I would, you know, I would like to see a reaction which is negative for the Australian US dollar, which not necessarily means it's negative for the Australian dollar, because we know how this market react. Any question in relation to that Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar there? I hope that gives a quick explanation what's going on. US dollar, Japanese yen, as I wrote yesterday, we are still looking for highs here and finding highs. And I believe this market has to correct into the 120.27. And we will understand from how it behaves there whether this area of participation short here is going to keep pushing this price lower after this market move higher, and that's very, very possible. I would not anticipate ending in this market. Okay, so this market came into this area, and it offered an entry and a free risk trade as well today. So I'm on a free risk trade in this market, and this market is actually pushing lower now, and I believe we're going to see this market trading into the 120.27, and depending on how we get there, we might decide to remove the position or just try to see whether the market is going to continue lower. Okay, so this is a good opportunity. We don't know where this market is going to push price to, and it's one of the markets I'm looking at, along with the Australian dollar US dollar. It gave a fair trade as well. I'm explaining this in a minute. Before we get there, let's look at the 30 minutes of the US dollar Japanese yen. And Pantelis say, I have two of them on the go. Very well done, Pantelis. I think it's very good. Is that US dollar Japanese yen or the Australian dollar US dollar? So as you can see here, there is participation. There was participation. This is 121.19, and this market is being pushed into 120, which helps price into that. 120.50, 45 here, which pushes price. It's going to help and push price into that level of potential participation long. So we don't know what's going to happen here, and this was a good trade anyway. Australian dollar US dollar as well, it gave an opportunity here, and that opportunity came from a failure of the sequence of algorithms on the 15 minutes and 30 minutes. We can see that here. Price participated 3 times here at this 170.61, pushed higher, first and second target, and then recently failed the sequence here. I anticipated the entry a little bit, and now where this market is going, this market is going at least into the next measure move. But I believe that this market will actually pierce this level like butter. We're going to see soon this market below 70.71, and that's what we want to continue trading this market lower. So if this market reacts and bounces here, We would not know from what and why, so that would be short-lived, and even if the market trades into 0.7105 is still a short. Okay, now where this market can go, this market has a huge potential here, because I don't believe, so I think that this market is going to continue lower, and the next level that this market has to test is 70.29. I think that 71 here will not hold, and this market is going to pierce that level and continue into 1720. Now here becomes interesting, because if we lose set the 0.70 here, 0.7002, you can kiss goodbye this market. Okay, which means that this market is gonna possibly retrace all the way into lows, and that's where we're going to drive this market into. Of course, there'll be some support along the way, and we will need to see how that market behaves there. But even in this case, I have a 10 pips risk trade here, so even if we would be able to bring it into 0.69 as a free risk trade, that would be sizable. So we will see whether that materializes. Okay, I have two of them on the go. Pantelis is saying here, and one air lost though on a third one. Yes, US dollar Japanese yen. Very well done there. Probably working on the 1 minute, which is bold, and but kudos to you. Any questions in relation to this market so far? If you have any questions, write them down. The US dollar Japanese yen here keeps pushing lower. It has no other way to go. Indeed, I overtraded the move. Does market punished me? It happens, and sometimes it's sometimes it happens to me as well when I know that the move is there and I want to get into a position. Now, among these two, the Australian dollar, US dollar, the Australian dollar, US dollar would be better than the US dollar Japanese yen, because I see more downside potential for the Australian dollar, at least a safer one. Because, as I mentioned, US dollar Japanese yen, I believe it has to retrace 114.80 as well. I mentioned that. I wrote that in the report, and I think that it's a matter of time, or it's a matter of time, or and how it's going to get there. Okay, so before I get into euro. Pound there, which I don't follow because I don't find it very technical, but Jax, that looks good. If you're able to do that, more power to you. That's for sure. I'll try to analyze that and see whether that market is doing. I'm very curious about it. It's not one of the market I trade. Now, before I get there, I want to comment a little bit on this mess. Euro Australian dollar has been, moving lower, but very, very slowly. And today we saw another measure move coming into play. This market is still targets below, and I don't think it's gonna start a sizable move until at least those lows at 52.30 are tested there. And today we had more of the same with these spiked daily moves here. The market goes up during the day, midday, it reverses and it goes down, and that's on the daily. Then it appears something like this kangaroo bar here. Now, I anticipate it's gonna happen today's bar as well. We started this trade on the 26th. It was Tuesday here, and it's Tuesday. This is the Tuesday bar. We have not exited this trade yet. Okay, but I'm very positive that this market is going to eventually going to to give the opportunity there. And the Australian dollar, sorry, the Euro Australian dollar here again went to trade the 30 minutes there, and it's actually now responding to that level that could bring price into lows 150 to 63. That'd be 30 pips from the target I'm looking at. Okay, and pound versus the Japanese yen. You remember that I spoke about this trade a lot yesterday. Now let me show you the beautiful sequence on the 30 minutes here for this market, and this market actually went much higher than we were looking at, and has not broken the sequence yet. If he gets 174.08, you can short this market, and you can paper short this market if you don't trade real money, and actually we should see a sizable move lower here. Let me show you the sequence, the last sequence here. It's very technical market, high volume in this market. So participation 172.41, first target hit, and the next, the retracement of 90% of price there, and the price came to trade the next measure move into the second target, and then the next measure move that will decide whether this market is going to move lower or not is this one. Okay, so if the market breaks 174.08, I think we have a good chance to see this market retracing potentially for the wall all the way halfway back here, which is quite sizable move. So don't underestimate these moves here. Okay, so you bearish pound USD too. So let's look at this market, because I always like to see what this market are telling us. So Jax, let me start with the euro. Actually, let me start with the pound versus US dollar, because it should be a little bit more liquid, and so easier to understand. Now, you will remember that if you followed the room last week, you remember that I commented on this market and I showed that there was participation in this 158, which has not yet brought price into target. And actually, it's better if we see this on the weekly time frame here. And the weekly time frame, we mentioned that there is a 139.50. You will remember this level. I mentioned that last week, which is actually very reliable, because the weekly and monthly are pushing this price lower. The weeklies are pushing this price lower, and after this reaction will be completed, eventually we will see that market continuing lower. So the problem we have here is that we don't know where the algorithms are going to attach themselves, and if we saw the low today, then they're using a level here, which is this one. Okay, and as you can see, traded right on the pip, 144.45. So I'm bearish on this market. Yes, I was bearish already, because this market is still a target that has not been reached. So once this move higher is going to be completed, and I said, I mean, it could be completed today. We don't know that. Okay, now the euro versus the pound, it's an inter-European play here, and let's look at this. Let's look at this market. It's technical in a way, as we can see. Market has traded all the way halfway back here, push price into the first target, and tried to pick up. Let's see. Tried to pick up the next measure move, has failed here. So this market has a potential to retrace all the way into the next measure move, which is not that far, by the way. It's very extended, so it's possible. So I'm bullish temporarily on this market until it gets into this level, and then we should see a new short. So very down 78, 77 area might be a very important area for this market to to actually continue that move lower. Now this market could actually, let's go back to the way, this market could actually go much lower, and actually it could go into this 64 65 level area here. That's very possible. Okay, and before he can do that, though, I mean, I don't believe it's going to reverse here. It has to go a little bit higher, and let's see whether we have a long setup to bring that price into the next area of resistance there. And I think we have a level that has traded here. It's an extension, and it's not from this level, so it's from lower levels. And yeah, there are two areas here that we can look at. So one level that's traded is this one. So this market could actually retest 75.30 and keep pushing higher. Okay, the bears do not look well. The bears have participated here, so we'll need to check whether that second test is successful. But if the second test is successful on this 75.30, we should see a continuation higher for this market. Okay, so bearish on the pound versus US dollar and bullish on so let me just check one thing here. And as I said, bullish in the short term on the euro pound until with a support at 75, a support that is a daily support at 75.30 here, with a potential to bring price. If that level holds again, that's very important. That's a condition that you cannot remove there. Then moving into 78.80. Okay, so that would be a daily target 78.80. So quite interesting in terms of reliability. I would say that pound versus US dollar would be actually pound versus dollar would be actually more reliable as a short there. Very good, Jax. I mean, I'm glad that my analysis actually matches yours, and I think that adds to the quality of a setup. You're very welcome. So, any other questions here? Let's do a quick time check. It's 8:30. Let's review the trades we are looking at here. Watched opportunities, as I'm calling them, and the pound versus the Japanese yen is actually putting in jeopardy that level. If that works, I'm probably going to get a fairly trade there, and in the short, I have quite a few pips there. But if we break the level, the probability of getting a free trade increases enormously, and actually, when we put this market in perspective, I mean, it becomes very interesting here, because this level has now broken. Okay, and the point is that this level did not come on top of anything. Well, there is one move in reality that is actually causing that market to break, and it's this extension here. So that's the participation where the market participated. I don't believe that participation is going to be long-lived, it's going to have long life, and it's possible for this market to actually just continue lower here, possibly, believe it or not, into 156.41. And along the way, we could actually keep adding to this market, and seeing it moving it to 156.40 here. That's not impossible, even if this market broke here. And the reason for that is because this market is being pushed by the monthly lower here. So the monthly is going to be stronger than the weekly and daily as well. Very probably. Now, nothing is ever guaranteed in the market, as you know very well. But I think we are going to see a continuation lower here, and it doesn't matter if the market stops us out after we have a freeze trade. So the most important thing always try to get a freeze trade. Okay. So I've got a freeze trade here in the Australian dollar, US dollar. I got a freeze trade in US dollar Japanese yen. Possibly we'll get a freeze trade on the pound versus Japanese yen here, very possibly. And once we have those trades, if the market continues in that direction, it's it's a good way to start the week. And if some of these trades break their next extension, you can kiss them goodbye, because this 120 could become 114.80 in a number of weeks. I wouldn't say days, but weeks for sure. Okay, and I have little consideration for how we should consider the news for the Japanese yen. Make no mistake, the algorithms know what they're doing, and what they're suggesting me here is that they're actually positioned on the downside. Now we'll need to see what happens at 10:30 when we get those news. But so US dollar, Swiss franc, and euro Swiss franc. The Swiss National Bank manipulates euro Swiss franc more than US dollar Swiss franc. Obviously, they have more leverage on the euro, very probably. It is very interesting to discover that Switzerland can actually move 6%, up to 6% of the daily $6.1 trillion dollars in the forex market. That amazes me. So 6%, it's like how much Tokyo would move, and probably Singapore will move as well. So and that's not included in the 30 to 36% of the European area, including London and UK as well. So US dollar Swiss franc, I think we reviewed that yesterday as well. So let's have a look at that. And here we go. I should have it here. Swiss franc versus US dollar first. And as I mentioned yesterday, we are moving higher on a very large time frame here. There is the potential for this market to get into 105 first, and then 110 on a smaller time frame. What can we see? It's on the daily time frame. We can see the market moving higher here, and it doesn't look a clean move here, and but this market could actually continue higher. I don't particularly like this market, not because of the moves lower, or just too spiky. It doesn't move more regularly the way I like, and but on the larger time frame, we can see this market moving higher, 105 and then 110. The euro versus Swiss franc, it's again, it's inter-European play here, and let's see if this market is indeed what this market is. After the peg came here, this market has been actually not as strong as US dollar Swiss franc. Went into the first target, now trading in extension, possibly into 114 very, very soon there. And before we get there, we're gonna probably going to meet other levels. There is one level that traded already, 111, and that's the reason why there was profit taking at that level. So the the market took profits there, and that there is the potential to continue into 137.04 there. Okay, so very good. So any questions here? Any other questions or any other markets that you want to bring to my attention? I will just make a brief review here of the market that we follow. Australian dollar, US dollar, trading into that all the way halfway back. As I mentioned, that wouldn't change the picture at this moment. Of course, we will need to see what happens at 10:30, but this market could react at this level and then continue lower. Rumor is that the Swiss National Bank is trying to get euro, Swiss franc back-to-back level. Don't know how reliable rumor is though. I mean, if we will see there, we'll set that that market aside. Okay, so we'll not will not look at that if that happens. So as you can see, euro, Australian dollar, and Australian dollar, US dollar trade in footstep. So my setup is, let me see. I have, let me check here. I have I entered at on Pepperstone 071.04 and got a free trade. And the stop it's a little bit closer, so we'll see if that works. If these two markets trade in lockstep, if the euro Australian dollar has to go down, the Australian dollar US dollar will continue moving higher and could actually stop us out at break even in this trade if that happens. If there is participation at this level despite the euro Australian dollar moving lower here, going down to previous lows, we are stopped at break even, and that's it. It's not a big deal. I want to see the pound versus Japanese yen, try to see whether this market is going to challenge that area. If this market challenges that area, there is very strong potential for this market. So we will see. Ideally, we would like to see the Australian dollar responding to this 50% level and continuing lower, and but at the same time not actually affecting the trade in the euro Australian dollar. Of course, we cannot get everything, but maybe on the news, one of these two markets will give. And of course, would like to see euro Australian dollar continuing lower into target. Apparently, the algorithms are anticipating that as well. This 50%, 54.17 has traded there. This inner 50% is trading, and so it's not impossible to anticipate that the Australian news are going to be bearish or be interpreted, bullish, or interpreted as bullish when they come out at 10:30. So I suppose there'll be some of you there looking at the market, right? I suppose Peter is going to be there. I mean, what's the reason to take a trade in Australian dollar, US dollar? It was a short. Actually, this market is actually on a weekly all the way halfway back here, as you can see from highs, this level here. So also the 4 hour, the daily has not traded. So we have the market in this area, and the daily is not traded, so it has to trade somehow. So in order to trade, this market has to move lower. But okay, we will review that later in the room at 3:30. So don't be worried about that. So US dollar Japanese yen behaving well. Any other questions here? Behaving well, the US dollar, Japanese yen, and sorry, this is not obviously the that market. Sorry for moving around quickly here. And the US dollar, Japanese yen is actually, sorry, this is the daily. That's not what we want to see. We like the daily. We like this big bar, but this is not what I want to see. I want to see the 30 minutes here and try to understand what's going on in this market. Okay, so this market has traded to 21.18, so has to go into 120.44, and when it will be there, he will probably also move into our 120.27. Now, you know, this market is going to push and so just give me 1 second here, just 1 moment.
Which one? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I have to continue. Yeah, okay. Sorry about that. I saw the that's okay for me.
Okay, sorry about that. There was a little bit of. Can you hear me? All right, so let's continue here. And just let me do a check here. Give me a yes if you can hear me. Okay, so the continuation here, it's on the downside, obviously. So as you can see, this market is getting traction here, and it has really no other way to go at the moment, because also on the larger time frame, it has to trade those levels before there can be a continuation of long. So I'm probably sure that no matter what country, wives and wives. Well, yeah. So I I hoped I had the mute, but it didn't work. Anyway, this is gonna be a good interruption. You know, I'm genuine in everything I do. So and so Pantelis will be happy there probably, because the US dollar, Japanese yen is working as we were anticipating. Of course, we want to see two important markets get into target. One, of course, is Australian dollar, Euro Australian dollar here, and very probably we cannot be sure, but very probably this is going to happen during the news today. And there's another very important market for me, and you know that I mentioned that last week as well. I want to see the US dollar, Canadian dollar moving into 137.70. Now, believe it or not, okay, and this is really up to you. Let me analyze a little bit this market on the larger time frame here. Now, this market, it's very interesting. There are a lot of analysts that are giving this market into the highs here, 161, and actually this is very possible here. This market is on an extension series of measure move higher, and it's very, very possible for this market to get there. Now, if this market needs to get there, and we don't know that for sure, obviously, because we cannot be sure of anything in the market. We can anticipate anything in the market. Now, if the market gets into 137.60 and gets traction from this level, here there is going to be an outstanding, fantastic 18 pips move potentially. Okay, if that happen again, this might take weeks to materialize, but this is one of those opportunities that do not come around very often. Actually, it's like the last move, the last extension move, and if you believe that that is impossible, well, you should look at what algorithms were capable of doing in the last measure move there. See, they brought it from 120.55 to 145. Is that impossible? Not at all. So this is my take and my view, and of course, you know, you don't have to share it. But what I'm telling you here is that it's very possible for this market to to get into 137.60. Question from Jack is, why do you use the 30 minutes and not the 50 minutes and 1 hour? Very good question. And that's related to a number of factors. First of all, the 30 minutes and the 50 minutes are not that different. Professionals look at the 15 minutes, 4 hours daily and weekly. They don't look at the hourly. I mean, I don't look at the hourly. I don't hear a lot of people who look at the hourly. The point is that what is it the information that you have in the hourly and that don't have in the 30 minutes or the 4 hour? Okay, so I break the time frames in a way that help me looking at the information, and then 30 minutes is because I have some timing strategies that I use on the 30 minutes. So if looking at the 15 minutes or 30 minutes doesn't change for me, I want to look at the 30 minutes because I have timing strategy. So I hope that answered your question, Jax. So it's 8:47 here. Any other questions? I think we looked at the US dollar, Swiss franc, as well as the euro Swiss franc. As I said, I mean, I don't have a lot of interest in those markets, but and I'm not capable of trading them. So if you are able, I mean, more power to you. So let me do another round here. I see there are a lot of people here in the room: Jack, Pantelis, Marco, Punk, Greg, Lee. There is the admin as well: Peter, Todd, Pedro, Luke, Easy, Label Lopez, or Lab Lopez, OWSI, Joe, and there is Adinda there, Jason, and Mauricio as well. Hello, Mauricio. I hope you're enjoying the show. So before we continue here, let's have a look at gold. Very technical market as well, and gold has been moving higher, as you can see here. It has been in a series of moves lower here, an extension, and then a continuation here. And the level has not traded, was not a 50% level on the weekly. And if we look anyway at the last measured move here, there is a potential break, and I think it's much more. There is a potential for not a break that's on the daily. There's a potential for a participation short here unless the 1137 is broken. Now, the daily it's a little bit more technical here, and we have actually traded shorts, and this market also showed an all the way halfway back here trading. Even if you, I mean, this market is not as liquid as, of course, Forex. So clearly, algorithms participate in a totally different way. But we have seen this market in this strong move lower back in October and November, and then we saw participation on the short side, but then the longs came into play. So at the moment, on the daily at least, the longs are in control. Okay, and they hit the first target, and there is a potential for this market to continue higher. I see there is Dale as well. Hi Dale. I mean, I suppose your contribution to the community it's much more important and larger than mine. Thanks a lot for your kind words there. Thank you. I would be happy if you would comment on them on the LAR as well. And you know, of course, these levels are my best approximation. I mean, there are very good people in LAR that actually you know would actually you know, see these and much more in the market. So thanks a lot, Dale, for stopping by. I always pass the ball to the Larry the next day as well. So I like to discuss these levels as well. Thanks for coming by. And so as I was saying here, so the first target was hit. There's a potential for a continuation into 1152 if the market retraces in this move here. We are going to see that 111 coming into play as well. That's an even number as well, strong level. So if the market comes back, that's where we're going to pick up the market. The silver has been a little bit you know, relatively weaker here, and is still moving laterally at the bottom, and and I'm laughing at the comments at Dale's comments there. So although it has been weaker here, we have a potential participation long here with bull still in control, and we will need to, the test is going to be the 114.63. So if this market continues higher into the 1480, there's a potential to put an end to that that extension short, and then the next level is going to be 15. So this market has a lot of work to do in order to undo all the damage that has been done, but that's the possibility there. Dale is saying, I know I'll be tuning in happy hour with great ideas. Dale, you're very welcome. And your ideas, of course, would be a great complement to this. So thanks for joining in. I would like to learn more about FX trading from you. Jason, there is a program. You can find the link on the window, and you can see there is an offer for FX Street as well. An offer, sorry, from FX Street as well. You can check that in the window. Indeed, there is an offer only for FX Street subscribers. So gold and silver here pushing higher at the moment, and they will need to beat this 1460 and then the 15 level, which is an important level as well. Okay, so let me give a quick look here at the the Panteli is joking today, saying any comments about the Cosa Nostra of Forex? Well, if you think about it, right, if it's possible to model these algorithms so effectively, imagine, you know, the real algorithms what we're capable of doing. So I would bounce that back to Pantelis and say, Pantelis, what is the real Cosa Nostra really? Where it's coming from? All right, so let me give here a quick look. It's 8:55, time check. A brief look at the opportunity we are following here. The pound versus Japanese yen, it's putting in jeopardy and pushing into that last resort there below 174.08. You can kiss goodbye this market, and we're going to see interesting move lower here. So it appears that that level is very highly probable that is going to that is going to start. Well, that's good that daily is actually helping in kind of spreading the Italian culture. I appreciate that, Dale, and Pantelis is helping as well. We will soon start with the Greek culture as well when we finished with the Italian culture. And but thanks, guys. You're very kind and very funny as well. So Euro Australian dollar here. We have that trade. We're still waiting for our target. I'm very tired of carrying this trade, but I'll stay disciplined. And I believe that with the news at 10:30, if not before, we're gonna see this. We're gonna see this trade getting getting into target finally. This was a 10.75 reward to this trade. If we're using risk-free, the risk-free methodology that I always recommend, I'm very adamant about risk management. Indeed, I believe that trade job number one is minding risk. If you mind risk, if you are wrong, you're going to get out and defend your capital. If you are right, you're going to get out and with a nice gain. So it should never be a problem whether you have to use a risk-free trade approach or not. Okay. So the Australian dollar US dollar is pushing higher here. Probably going to be stopped out. Imagine a break even because we have a free trade here. So we need to wait more for this market to actually set up. And I imagine at this point that as this market trades in lockstep with the Euro Australian dollar, only when the Euro Australian dollar will reach support, indeed, we are going to see maybe an opportunity on the Australian dollar here. So it's good anyway to have a free trade. Because when you can get a free trade, you have nothing to risk, only cost of trading, a few dollars there. But I'm also short-term interested in seeing this Euro Australian dollar finally get into target. So pound versus Japanese yen is not getting that traction that the Australian dollar is getting. So this is good. Indeed, it's pushing lower. And the other market that we have here is the US dollar Japanese yen that is just pushing lower beautifully. Okay, so I'm starting a recap of this session right now, and in this session we actually reviewed the major market. We commented on the European plays and the cross-European American plays here and cross-Asian. And we know that these markets have to complete a cycle. I'm particularly interested in, again, the US dollar Canadian dollar when it's going to get into 137.70. There is a potential, if this market will find participation in 137.70, there is a potential for an unbelievable 1800 move into 150, the 158 area. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind, 155, 156 area. I know for sure that the companies in Canada are taking the problem of the Canadian US dollar change very seriously. I know of companies who are actually projecting in their project costs a rate which is laughably, very laughable, very low, 0.30 Canadian on US dollar, which would actually put the US dollar at 3.60. Obviously, 3.28. Obviously, that's never going to happen. But companies are taking this problem very seriously. So there is an anticipation that this market, once it gets into 137.7, is going to actually bounce higher. Euro Australian dollar, we saw that kangaroo tail again with levels and algorithms still actually kind of placed on the downside, which would suggest me that the Australian dollar news is going to be positive for the Australian dollar against the euro and possibly which means that it's going to be positive for the Australian dollar versus the euro, maybe negative versus the US dollar. So we will see how that is going to play. Then we reviewed some of the markets asked by the participants, and thanks a lot again for participating. I cannot mention all of you. Actually, don't even see all of you. Thanks a lot for the participation, and thanks for Dale and Mauricio and all of you for being here today. We reviewed the pound versus US dollar as well as the euro versus pound, and we mentioned that pound versus US dollar, I'm bearish about it, and it's not because I have a preference on that, but that's what the chart are suggesting. And if you look at this chart long term, it is really as you can see here, I mean, it's actually telling the story by itself. I mean, there was participation short at 116.65, pushing price lower. Participation short again at 158.77. That gives us a target of 139. Now the market is not yet there, and that's good news because as soon as this reaction higher is completed, there's going to be a good opportunity short. Okay, so thank you very much, and I'll leave it here. I'll write a report. I want to thank FX Street for organizing this, and Dale, thanks for passing by, and don't forget the LAR tomorrow. Bye-bye now. See you, everyone. See you later. Bye-bye now.